Okay, this next hand, blinds are 200, 400. We're first to act and decide we're going to raise it up to 800. Where seat 1, 3 and 4 also like their hand and call my 800. Normally I'm not playing suited gappers late on in a competition, but as we are early on, I thought why not, let's play 9, 7 of hearts. Seat 5 decides to raise it up to 3.5k. He's not having all these people in at low value. We decide, alright, let's go for it and call the 3.5k. And we're going to go heads up to the flop. Seat 5, we know each other, a little bit of history. Typically they will fold to other players, but with me they do like to get sneaky and put raises in. And that's exactly what they've done. So that's why I've made the call. We're off to the flop. Flop comes down, 8 of hearts, 10 of diamonds, 4 of clubs. Little check of our cards. Yep, we have the straight draw. So we're not going to go anywhere with the straight draw. Just thinking of sizing on what we can bet. Seat 5 decides to check. So we think, okay, 6,000 looks like a good amount here. Just over pot size bet. If they haven't got anything, they should fold. They're thinking about it for a while, which does set a few suspicions of what their hand could be. But the 6k's in now, nothing we can do. And they do decide to make the call. Now, when they made the call, I thought potentially they could be having ace 10, ace 8, sort of top pair, or, you know, high card with an ace to go with it. So not too worried, depending on what the turn card is. Seat 5, like I said, does call, and we're going to go to a turn. Turn is the jack of clubs. Jackpot. We hit our straight. Out of nowhere. Boom. Seat 5 decides to check. We're definitely not checking. We now want to get maximum value out of this hand. So keep a nice low bet at 8,000. Seat 5 jams over the top of me, which I snap call and weren't expecting. They show us they've got ace-king. They need the queen for a higher straight and miss. Okay, this next hand, blinds are 200, 400. We look down at ace of diamonds, 10 of diamonds. Very pretty hand. Folds to us, and we're going to bet 800. Seat 1 calls. Seat 2 folds. Seat 3 calls. We're going to go off to a flop. Flop comes down, queen of hearts, 10 of spades, 9 of hearts. We've hit second pair and got top kicker. We're not going to go anywhere at this stage and decide to bet 2,100. Seat 1 likes their hand, they're going to make the call. This player can get a little out of line, so I've got to be careful here. And the turn, 2 of hearts, brings the flush. Now, not a particularly good card that we wanted to see, but we're going to rep the flush here, and we're going to bet. Just thinking of bet sizing and how we can get seat 1 to fold. So, look at our cards again. We bet 3,000, seat 1 calls. River, 6 of hearts, brings 4 to the flush now, so we're going to have to bluff. So we decide to go all in, and seat 1 folds. Okay, we look down at king jack of spades here. We're in the big blind. Blinds are 300, 600. We get 3 callers and decide not to raise. Thought we'd get a bit trappy with this one, and we flop the 2 pair, which is jackpot for us. It is an all red board, which don't help us out, but we decide to bet 1,500. We get one caller from seat 5, the other two fold, and we're off to the turn. Turn is the 2 of hearts, what now puts out 2 flush draws, which isn't particularly good for our 2 pair, being their black cards. But we decide to put a 3k bet in and get a snap call. 9 of hearts does deliver the flush. We can't go anywhere, so we're going to have to rep the flush, even though we've got 2 pairs. So we decide to put a 6k bet in. Not a big bet. It's the kind of bet you'd put if you decided you had the flush and wanted to get value. Seat 5 calls us and mucks their hand. Okay, this hand blinds are 400, 800. We look down at ace 3 of diamonds. Very pretty hand. Seat 4 calls the big blind. We decide we're going to raise it up to 2.5k. Get the big blind and small blind out. Seat 4 does call and we're off to a flop. Should let you know that seat 4 is an incredibly tight player. We've hit the bottom pair with the ace kicker. Seat 4 decides to check. We bet 3k. After a while, seat 4 thinks about it and decides to fold. We take down the pot. Okay, this next hand, the blinds are 400, 800. We look down at king 2. Not a hand that we typically be playing, but being that we're in the big blind, we decide not to raise. We go 3-way to a flop. Seat 1 and seat 4 check. We check behind. Jack of hearts come. They check to us and we're going to have a bluff at it. Bet 2.5k. Seat 1 decides to fold. Seat 4 decides to fold. The bluff takes it down. Okay, this next hand we look down at queen 10. Blinds are 600, 1200. We call the 1200 and go 3-way to a flop. Seat 3 and seat 4 check. After seeing the flop, we hit top pair and decide to bet 3.2k. Seat 3 calls to 3.2k. Seat 4 does decide to fold. Seat 3, rather tight player, but sometimes can pull moves against me. Turn comes the 2 of diamonds and seat 3 decides to check again. We still feel we're good here, so we're going to put a bet in majority of the time, but this time we decide to check, which is a bit of an error on our part, not too sure why I did it. We let the 7 of diamonds get there, which brings the flush. Seat 3 checks again. There's no way we're checking again, so we bet 2.5k. They call. We have queen 10. They have 9-10. We take the pot. Winner, winner. Okay, next hand. Blinds are 500, 1,000. We're in the small blind. Seat 1, 3 and 4 call the big blind, and so do we. So we're going to go off to a flop. Flop comes down queen of clubs, 9 of hearts, 3 of diamonds. We've hit our queen, so we put a bet in. Bet 3k. Everyone don't like their cold cards and folds to us. We take the pot.
All yours, Lee. Okay.
Okay, this band. Blinds are 600, 1,200. We limp in with our 6-7. And the flop comes down 10 of diamonds, ace of diamonds, 8 of clubs, which is good for us with our 6-7. So obviously we put the bet in. We did get 2 callers, and on the turn come the 4 of clubs, which puts 2 flush draws out there. We're still chasing our diamond flush draw. and put the bet in. Seat 1 has now decided to take the lead and put a 5.5k bet in, and we're thinking about it, but we do make the call with the flush draw, so we're off to the river. Quick check, yep, still on the flush draw, which we missed. 10 of spades lands, which we've literally got air. There's nothing we can do but bluff with this now. So we're first to act, thinking what we can do. Like I said, we're going to have to bluff, so we put a bluff bet size in of 8k, which is probably a little bit under where I should be betting. Maybe should be betting around about 11, but 8k was a bit of a suspicious bet for seat 1, who does think about it for a long time. They did ask, are we on the flush draw and have we missed? So they're trying to get a few reads off of us, which we didn't give anything away. Just waiting for them to make the decision. Seat 1 is known to call quite light, so was getting a little bit worried, but when they were taking as long as they did, it's quite clear they were going to fold. So just shut down, didn't say anything, and they do fold, showing the 8 of diamonds. They were obviously good. We missed our flush draw, they missed their flush draw. Okay, we're in the big blind. Blind is 700, 1400. We look down at ace queen. Seat 1 decides to bet 5k. We decide to call and go off to a flop.
Me and you, Cosmin. No more rebuys, you know.
Oh, no, you can't.
Flop comes down. Jack of hearts, 9 of hearts, queen of spades. We've got top, and we're not messing about here. We bet 20k. Seat 1 goes all in, which isn't much more. We snap call, show them the bad news. Oh no, wait, they have 2 pair. Bad news for us. Surely not. Runner gives us a bigger 2 pair. We win. Okay, we're in the small blind. Blinds are 700, 1400. We look down at 6-7 of clubs, and thanks to my kids, I'm now playing 6-7 all the time. We call the big blind of 1.4k, and we're going off to a flop. Flop comes down, 6 of diamonds, jack of clubs, 4 of hearts, rainbow board. We've hit second pair with our 6-7. We're going to put a bet in, 4.1k to take the pot down. It does that job and we win. Okay, this next hand, blinds are 700, 1400. We look down at the snowmen. 8-8. So we bet 3.1k. Seat 1 wants to see a flop, makes the call. Off to a flop we go. Seat 1, we play regularly with each other, so we kind of know who each other plays. Flop comes down at 9-7-5. We're going to put a bet in. Seat 1 sees that we're going to put the bet in and just folds instantly. No messing about. We take the pot. Okay, this next hand, blinds are 800, 1600. We're in the big blind. There's no raise, so we're going off to a flop. We've got 5-2 of hearts. Board comes down 10 of hearts, 5 of clubs, 6 of hearts. So we have got a flush draw and a potential now straight flush draw. So we're not going to go anywhere in this hand. We bet 4k. Seat 4 decides to pop it up to 10k. Now, a little suspicious. But like I said, we're going nowhere, not with the straight flush draw now. So we make the call. And then the river comes down the 5 of spades. It does bring potential full houses. But I don't put seat 4 on holding cards that would give them a full house. So we're going to bet 6k. Keep it small just in case they do have a better hand than us after raising it up to 10k. Seat 4 decides they're going to call the 6k. So we're on to showdown. We show them we've got the flush. They show us they've got the bigger flush, Jack 8. We lose this one. Okay, this next hand, blinds are 800, 1600. We have 10 of clubs, 10 of hearts. Lovely hand, seat 5, bets 3.6k. We're going to see a flop for 3.6k and put in the call. Seat 5, quite a tight player, so you've got to put them on a couple of picture cards at a minimum or a pair. Small blind folds, big blind calls to 3.6k. Off to the flop with our 10s. Flop comes down, ace, 3, jack. Not what we wanted to see with our pocket 10s. 2 overs and the flush draw there. And considering seat 5 is quite tight, we've got to be mindful of this with our reads. And after they bet 3.6k, it's time to let the 10s go. Okay, this next hand, blinds are 800, 1600. We look down at suited connectors, 6, 5 of diamonds, folds to us, and we call the big blind of 1.6k. Small blind decides to call 1.6k, and no raise from the big blind, so we're off to a flop. Flop comes down, 3 of diamonds, 4 of spades, jack of clubs. This is a board that we can represent, so we put a bet in of 3.2k. Small blind, big blind, don't like it, and fold. Okay, this next hand, the blinds are 900, 1800. We look down at pocket aces. Best starting hand you can get, jackpot. We bet 4.1k. Seat 1 likes their hand, and they're going to make the call of 4.1k. Everyone else folds, gets out of the pot, and we're going to go off to a flop. Seat 1, me and seat 1 play a lot of cards with each other, so we know how each other plays. Flop comes down, king of clubs, 7 of heart, jack of clubs. Looks pretty safe for us at the minute. So we're first to act, and we're going to put a bet in. We decide to put a bit of a value bet in of 6k. Seat 1 snaps it straight in. They call the 6k. Off to the turn. Turn 6 of diamonds. Still pretty safe for us. Nothing that worries us out there. We're putting seat 1 on the king, so we want to keep him interested. We bet 15k, and as we thought, snap calls, puts it in, 15k called. Off to the river, it's another 6. 6s shouldn't be in the range of seat 1, not how the hand's played out, so we think we're good here. So we're going to put a bet in of 25k, try and get maximum value, don't want to overbet the pot. Seat 1's having none of it, makes the call, shows us that they've got king, queen. We take down the pot. Okay, this next hand, blinds are 4,000, 8,000. We've got king, 5 of diamonds. Thought we'd mix it up a little bit later on in the tournament with this hand. We bet 16,000, which is a min click. Folds round to the big blind. Big blind thinks 8k more, gonna make the call. So big blind makes the call of 16,000, and we're going off to see a flop. Big blind is a good player, knows how to pick spots and when to fold. Flop comes down at 6-10 queen. We've missed everything, but with the hand we've got, we was always going to bluff or bet regardless if we connect or not. We bet 21k.
Flop to full house against
Big blind thinks about it. Obviously hasn't hit any of the board, so big blind decides to fold, and we take down the pot. Okay, this next hand, the blinds are 4,000, 8,000. We're in the big blind. Seat 3 bets 18k. We're protecting our big blind and we call. We're going off to a flop with our pocket fives. Goes check, check on the flop to the turn. The turn is the Jack of Hearts. Now this is a card that we could represent, so we're going to put a bet in here. We're trying to think of sizing, so we go with a bet of 16,000 just to be on the safe side, and they muck pocket tens. Okay, this next hand, the blinds are 4,000, 8,000. We're in the small blind and look at pocket tens. It folds around to us and we raise our tens. We make it 22,000. Big blind jams and goes all in. It's not much more, so we have to make the call. We've got pocket tens. They show Jack 9 of hearts, and here we go. 10 lands, that kills it. We take the pot. Okay, this next hand, the blinds are 4,000, 8,000. We're on the button and look down at pocket aces. Always nice to get pocket aces on the button and late on in a tournament. We just flat call here, which is not something we normally do. Flop comes down 8, Jack 7. At this point, I'm putting the player seat 2 on the Jack. So we bet 12,000. A bet that if they have got the Jack, they will have to call, or even if they've hit the board, they will have to call. And seat 2 does call. Turn. It's the 4 of hearts, which does bring the flush draw, but I'm not putting seat 2 on the flush draw. They check again. Obviously not particularly liking their hand, so we think we're good here, and we keep the bet relatively small because we do want to keep them in, and we bet 22k. After thinking about it for some time, seat 2 does fold, and we take the pot with our aces. Okay, this next hand, blinds are 5,000, 10,000. We're in the small blind. It folds round to us.
25.
And we raised 25k with our 3-5, just trying to steal the blinds. Seat 2 makes the call. Now, seat 2 is a super tight player, so this does worry me that we're playing at 3-5 against them. Flop comes down 9 of diamonds, Queen of hearts, 5 of hearts. We have hit bottom pair, but that doesn't fill me with any joy. We rebet 25k. Seat 2 once again calls. Alarm bells are ringing now. Turn comes the 7 of diamonds. Do a little bit of speech play here. Try and keep the pot low. There's no way I'm winning this hand. I'm not going to bluff the turn, so I'd sooner see a river and bluff the river. Speech play works. Goes check, check. And we're off to the river.
I'm worried about them kings now.
River comes 4 of hearts, which does complete a flush draw. Like I said, we've got absolute air and worrying. We bet 40k and then let the speech play start.
Well, your queen could be better than mine.
That's if you have a queen.
That's if I have a queen. Might have flush. Get 10 Jack of hearts.
Okay, the blinds are 5,000, 10,000. Folds to us, and we've got pocket sevens. We're going to raise this up to 23,000. Seat 2 pushes all in, which isn't much more. This is also the bubble for top table. It's not much more for us, so we are going to make the call to the all-in and go off to a flop. Seat 2 has King Jack. They do hit the king, but we hit the flush. Okay, this next hand, the blinds are 7,000, 14,000, and we have pocket threes. We call the big blind and go off to a flop. Flop comes down, king of clubs, queen of clubs, 10 of hearts. We check, and so does seat 1. Looking back at the hand, we should have bet there. Checking was a bit of a mistake. 4 of spades comes on the turn. Now this is when we start to bet, knowing that we're not going to be good here most of the time, but get a bit of a feel. So we bet 25k. Seat 1 does call 25k, which lets us know that we're definitely behind. The river comes the queen of diamonds. Now, that's not a very good card for us to bluff on, because if we'd hit the queen earlier on, we would have obviously bet. But we're not going to win the hand by checking, so we do put a bet in of 75,000. And now seat 1 goes in the tank. And I mean they tank for so long. So long that I'm going to have to let you just watch out the clip. The reason I'm going to let you watch out the clip is because it is a great call by them in the end. So, yeah, unfortunately we don't win this hand, but can't win them all. Okay, this next hand, the blinds are 7,000, 14,000. We're in the big blind. Seat 3 goes all in. We can't get our chips in quick enough with King Jack of diamonds. They don't have much, to be fair, so it's not going to be too much damage to our stack. They show Jack 7 of spades, so we're ahead. But wait. They hit a flush on the river. Okay, this next hand, the blinds are 7,000, 14,000. We're in the small blind and we look at pocket aces. Oh yeah. Seat 2, seat 3 and seat 6 all limping and called a 14k big blind. We're having none of it, and we shove all in with our aces. Seat 1, who's the big blind, folds, and seat 2 thinks about it. After thinking about it for a while, he does make the call, and then everyone else folds. Seat 2 is a good player, so I'm not expecting him to be calling me light, but at this stage, we've got aces. What can go wrong? They have pocket kings. It's the classic aces versus kings. Can we hold? Here we go. We hold. Okay, this next hand, blinds are 900, 1,800. We're in small blind with ace of clubs, 2 of hearts. At this stage of the tournament, we're free-handed. I bet 35k into the big blind, and the big blind in seat 1 makes the call of 35k. Off to a flop, ace of spades, 2 of diamonds, 7 of hearts. We've hit 2 pair, check to try and get a bit trappy. Seat 1 checks back. Next card is the 6 of diamonds. We bet 50k. Still feeling we're good here. Seat 1 thinks about it for a while. Just quick check. Yep, ace 2, 2 pair. After thinking about it for a while, seat 1 does make the call of 50k. And we're going to go to a river. River comes 9 of diamonds. Getting the flush there. Now, we could have made a mistake here by checking the flop. We're going to bet 80k. Find out where we are. But also good that we've got 2 pair. Seat 1 then goes all in. Not what we wanted to see. And we're going to have to go in the tank and think about this one. Seat 1 is a good player. They can get out of line. But not often do I see it, which makes it more difficult for us to make the call, because for them to put their tournament life on the line with an all-in, you would think they have the flush. But 2 pair free-handed is just far too strong. We can't lay it down. So after tanking for a while, we do decide to make the all-in call. And we're going to find out what they've got. We make the call. We show our 2 pair. They show queen 4 of diamonds. They hit. Okay, this next hand, the blinds are 900, 1800. We're in the small blind with king of spades, 10 of clubs. Seat 3 calls big blind, 1.8k. Then it's over to us. We're not going to let anyone see a cheap flop, and we're going to bet. We reckon good size in here is around about 37k. We don't mind 1 caller, but we don't want 2. Big blind does decide to fold after my raise, which then leads it back to seat 3. They think about it and make the call. Seat 3 is a good player, so we've got to bear this in mind when going to the flop. Off to the flop we go. And on the flop it comes 10 of diamonds, jack of spades, 6 of hearts. We've hit our 10, so we're going to bet. We bet 60k, which is a tough bet to call if you haven't hit any of it. We're relying on them not hitting the jack. And they think about it for a while before they decide to fold. Okay, this next hand, blinds are 10,000, 20,000. We're in a big blind with ace king of clubs. Small blind, bet 80k. We go all in, and they're going to make the call. We show them ace king of clubs. They show ace of hearts, 4 of clubs. Here's the run out. We win. Okay, blinds are 10k, 20k. We're in the small blind and call the big blinds 20k with ace 5. Flop comes down, 3 spades. We've got the ace of spades. We're drawing to the nut flush, so we bet 35k. Seat 1, who we've been playing quite a few hands against each other this evening, also calls my bet of 35k. Off to the turn. Queen of clubs, we've missed our flush draw. Once again, we should continuation bet, but we've bottled it and check. They check back. River, 9 of clubs. We don't hit our flush, but we're going to have to represent that we've got a strong hand. So we bet 60k. They miss their flush, or straight flush, showing at the 8 of spades. Okay, this hand blinds are 10k, 20k. We're in the small blind and call the big blind of 20k, and we go three-way to a flop with our 10-5. We flop the up and down straight. So we're going to put a cheeky little bet in of 35k. Tempt people in, and seat 1 does take the bait and calls our 35k. Not only does seat 1 take the bait, so does seat 6, and seat 6 also calls our 35k bet. We're off to the turn. Turn is the 6 of diamonds. We hit our straight. So we're now going to try and get maximum value, being that there's 2 of them in the hand. So we bet 65k. Seat 1 goes, nope, I'm having none of it, and folds. So now we're relying on seat 6 to make the call, but seat 6 also don't like it and folds, showing king, queen. Okay, this next hand, the blinds are 10k, 20k. We're heads up. I raise to 140k, just trying to steal the blinds, and seat 6 calls. Flop comes down 2, 3, 6. Seat 6 checks. With them checking, we thought we'd pull a move and jam all in, hoping for the fold, but quite the opposite. They're going to call us. Not what we wanted to see. So now we're going to run it out to the river. We're completely dominated. Then we hit the Miracle Queen. That'll do. Okay, this is the last hand of the tournament. This is to win it. We have Ace, Queen of Hearts. They have Ace of Clubs, 5 of Diamonds. They hit their 5. Turns the Ace, 2 pair for them. But we river the Queen for a bigger 2 pair. We win.